their fists. Bonnie and Mandy. Make sure you're always watching. You could miss it if they ever kiss. Those two wildflowers did what they had to do, and now they're free. And it's gonna be as wide as it can be, with no apology. Bonnie, Scalisi, and Mandy Jones, Wildflowers.
Welcome. You're looking live at the Wildflowers. I'm Mandy Jones, and sitting next to me is the beautiful, as always,
Bonnie Scalisi. How are you, everyone?
I took her under my coat a couple times.
What a gorgeous coat this is. Holy crap.
Dude, $40. It's a Juicy Couture fucking jacket, and it was $40 a job lot. Who the fuck?
It's gorgeous.
Anyways, I love a good bargain. I brag about a bargain. Bonnie, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Oh my God, I wasn't prepared for that question.
All right. Well, what's the topic for tonight? You want to tell me what the topic for tonight is?
The topic for tonight is showbiz, and you're going to find out in a second why. But if you've ever had anything to do with show business, in any capacity, maybe you met an actor, maybe you had a small role in a film, maybe you were an extra, we want to hear about it, and we want to know all about it. So we want you to share. So we already have a couple of people tuning in. We have Bill Hansen. How are you, Bill? And Lou Prats. How are you, Lou? Of course, Robin DeVito. She says, hi, beautiful ladies. Oh. Jack Prince, I'm assuming is somebody.
Oh, Jackie boy. That's my little brother.
Oh.
I love him.
He said smile for the camera.
Oh, Jackie, of course I'll smile. I love Jackie. He's so great.
And David Lange, how are you?
The Colonel.
And Robin is calling you a juicy bitch because she recognized this was juicy.
Well,
they were just talking about that.
We were talking earlier, and I told her about this great bargain I got because I was like, "This is so you, Robin." She also dresses fabulous,
and our next guest dresses fabulous too. I'm the only one who I wear the same outfit because I'm like trying to feed my boys, and by the time I have to get dressed, I start putting on different clothes, and I'm like, I look horrible in this. I take it off, and I just put on the same outfit. And my boyfriend is tuning in, and
welcome, Michael.
And Peter Wolfhanger is tuning in.
Oh, Peter, hello.
He says, does making the news a few times for getting in trouble count?
Yeah, I would say that's noteworthy.
We'll pass with that.
Was it non-violent drug offenses, or were they violent crimes, arson? How juicy were those crimes?
Yeah, we want to know about. And Michael's asking a question about our guest, which we will. I'm going to.
Yeah, we're keeping her from you. This is a clickbait thing. You gotta keep watching.
Yeah. So we are. Do you want to say about what you've been doing this week?
I've been running around like a chicken with my head, without its head on.
It's chicken without its head.
I'm glad it was a short work week. It felt like it was Friday, like all of last week. So this week was just long also. Like half my job was on vacation, so it made my job harder.
Oh.
Because like I have a lot of people that keep my head off the chopping block. And so I had to like really buckle in and do my job like an adult, which is hard.
You had to do a lot of people's jobs.
Well, so we have a good support system there at my job. So I miss some of my friends there that were on vacation, but God bless them. But my Calamity Jones hour, which I do every Friday, I did want to tell the fans, and I already told them on a little live that I had done, that I'm not going to be doing a show on Friday. I'm off for Black Friday. And I'm going to just dedicate it to respite with my family and,
nice.
Just taking a little break because even though I am at my kitchen table, a lot of time and energy goes into this. I mean, I don't walk around my house like this. Like, if you saw my husband, like, I
yes,
usually have a bun on the top of my head, and I do not wear makeup. So, enough about me, Bonnie. Should we get to this beautiful lady that we have here? Or do you want to do some shout-outs first? Anybody other than Wolfinger?
Well, they're all saying different things.
Oh, I see Lou Prats.
Lou Prats is
Welcome,
he wants to know if he can talk about his uncle Red
Absolutely not.
Red Buttons.
Absolutely not.
We're just kidding.
Tell me all about him.
But Michael's reminding me to bring the heater back. Yes, Michael,
yeah,
I know.
thank you, Michael, because I already would have forgot. I'm making a note of it right now, Michael.
Yeah.
I had an alarm in my phone too.
So
Bring heating element back.
Yeah, that was from the Halloween party. We had a great time at the and our next guest was at that party. So I'm going to introduce her now. She is the owner and the founder and the CEO of Silent Envy Productions, Sarah Martin.
Woo! Welcome,
thank you.
pretty lady.
Thanks for having me.
Well, so we had you, I had you as a Facebook internet friend, and then I met you, and we, clicked instantly. And I was like, okay, I get why people love you. Because, you can be Facebook friends with somebody who's an asshole, and their friends are like, they're awesome, you're awesome, and everyone's got people who are rooting for them. But you are actually a super cool, real person. So when I met you, I was like, oh, wow, I get why people love her.
I describe you as a bundle of positive energy.
Oh, you really are. You come in and it's unforgettable.
Yes.
You change the room up.
You have a positive aura about you. And just your photos of all the different things you do. Just this last week, she was flying over Las Vegas.
literally.
Literally flying through, you describe it. I could not believe it.
I'm the founder of Silent Envy Productions. I make a lot of movies. I do commercial work, stuff like that. And I was traveling this last year, and I did a lot of things. And I ziplined. She's talking about
zipline,
over Vegas, and it was really incredible. I shared the video on my Facebook. You could see it there. It might have been on my Instagram. I don't know.
It was definitely on your Facebook.
Yeah, it was on Facebook because that's where we whore ourselves out mainly.
It was a lot of fun. I love people. I love the industry. Unfortunately, it's been a really hard year for us, and so I've been doing a lot more photo work than I've ever done before.
Okay,
so
cool. Meaning photography over
video,
filmography.
Yeah, which I would love to get back more into the film, which we are doing starting in 2021. So I have a bunch of projects coming up. I'm very excited about.
Oh,
now tell me, what was your first project? What was your first movie set that you were ever a part of?
The first movie set I was ever a part of was an Alec Baldwin, Danny Glover film.
Ooh.
Yeah, I happened to be on this huge production.
How old were you?
This was in 2014, so 6 years ago. I was, 24, 25 years old.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just knew a girl that was the PA. And she was like, listen, I know that you love movies. You're trying to get into movies. Why don't you be an extra on this film? And I said, okay, yeah. And then somebody was supposed to do a speaking role and got called out, and they picked on me for whatever reason. So I was right up front. You can actually see me in the film. It was really great. I got to talk to Danny Glover. I hung out with Alec Baldwin's wife. I hung out with Billy Baldwin, which was kind of cool.
Cool.
He loved my face. I don't know. Anyway, it was a great experience.
That sounds dirty.
Yeah, I know, right? Ew.
Well,
you love my face. That's
a lot of people are saying some things. First of all, your mom is tuning in and she loves your jacket.
Thank you, Mom. $40.
Fabulous. She looks amazing.
I'll have it on tomorrow, Mom, at Thanksgiving.
Awesome. Chris Selman. Do you know Chris Selman?
Salmon.
Sellmann. He's listing Bang Bus, Banging at the Bus Stop, Butt Masters and Mamas, Llama Hung, and Spitz. Are those movies you've taken parts in?
I don't know. I haven't been a part of those, but I was a part of a movie.
She does not do pornos. I
don't do porn, but I did do a movie with Ron Jeremy once. It's not.
Oh
porn.
God, I hate Ron Jeremy.
I know he's in jail now, so don't even worry about him. I'm surprised he wasn't arrested sooner. But I did do a horror comedy.
Oh my God!
Started off my film career with horror. And it was with Ron Jeremy, and he just had a cameo. It was nothing.
How did you meet him?
I was on the set of a James Balsamo film, and I was the star of that film. I played the gold digging girlfriend.
Ooh, star.
I know. I was the co-star, but
Did you ever take acting classes, or they were just we love your face and
I never
read
took
these lines?
I never took acting classes, but I was just such a go-getter in the film world.
Okay, so you were took homework or anything else,
I just said I could do it. He's like, you think you could do it? I'm like, I could do this. I could totally do this.
Right. Yeah. No. Let me think about this.
Yeah.
Let me sleep on it. No, I got this.
I pretty much lied my way through. Yeah, I can do this. Fuck.
Pretty much every job, but anyways.
I've got the script and I'm like, oh shit, what did I get myself into? But I didn't want to let anyone down.
Right.
So I just did it and I tried my best, and a couple of alcoholic drinks later, we nailed it.
Yeah, it's liquid
fun.
courage. Do you know Christopher Osman?
Yes, I do.
He said he's saying "Fun Sarah,"
Oh.
and my boyfriend wants to know on the zip line, was that on Fremont Street?
I did do Fremont Street, which was the video that you see on my Facebook. I also ziplined at the the Links, which is right by the High Roller. So I did 2 zip line.
Whoa, I'm
experiences.
afraid of heights.
It
I
was
give you a
really
lot
fun.
of credit.
You would love it. You're really strapped in.
Now Jim Raya is watching.
You're safe.
Jim Raya, happy Thanksgiving. He's saying wow, so I'm not sure if he means wow because he's talking about how pretty you are, or wow that you've done all these things. But thank you for your input, Jim.
That was just the beginning. We didn't even start.
We've been
And
talking for
yeah,
2
we're
minutes.
just getting started.
Hasn't even started yet.
J.R. Messina,
Yes.
he's saying Sarah rocks. Happy Thanksgiving,
Oh.
ladies. Thank you, J.R.
Thank you.
Craig Watinsky, he said Sarah is an excellent portrait photographer too. He's a very satisfied customer.
Oh,
there
thank you,
go.
Craig and Kathy. I love
We're-
you.
And we always say we're going to put all her info easily accessible. So if you want portraits or you want work from her, direct message her and she'll tell you about her time and her availability for
Absolutely.
you.
Yes, and we want to know all about
And
the
I'm just
horror.
saying that without any recollection of might not have any time, so she could say Mandy was out of her mind and
I have some
made
time.
no agreement.
It fills up very quick, but I do have some time. So.
And Frank P. Zambuto,
Oh yes, I know
he
him.
said, I donate to all of Sarah Martin's projects. Go, Sarah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful! Thank you so much, Fred.
And Robin DeVito saying horror is her favorite. So can you tell everybody some of the names of your movies and how they can
Yes.
get them?
Okay, so my first feature film, horror film, was called Nefarious, and it's
I've
about.
heard of that.
Yes, it's my first one. I advertised a lot. It was kind of like my first one I really believed in. So my first independent. I had done a few before that were not my own. And it's about 2 families coming together in the most horrifying way. It's a bloodbath, very romantic, not romantic at all. And basically, it's about this family that moves into a house, and the neighbor comes over and befriends them. And it's really fucked up. You'll have to watch it. There's some ghosts involved, so it's really interesting. And that one, I actually had
I
a partner
definitely
on.
heard of that one.
Yeah, I had advertised it for a while, on the radio. It was in the newspaper, Newsday, and all that stuff. So I did really advertise it. That's my first one. You can't see it anywhere. I have not released it yet to the public, but I had a huge premiere, and I sold out twice. So I sold 600 seats, and it was really awesome. Yeah, it was
That's
a big
really
deal.
cool to make it exclusive.
It was very exclusive.
Because then it's pay-per-view. Then only 600 people saw it.
So many people want me to release that one. That was one of my better movies.
Okay.
So then moving on, I did my second movie called Menagerie. Dan Romano was actually in that one.
Dan Romano, we love
Yeah,
you.
he hasn't tuned in yet. But Gina
he will
Conjemi
be.
Coffin, hi.
Hey, Gina,
How are you?
How are you, doll?
So that one is about the eyeball killer from Texas.
Okay.
Oh,
is that a
I
real-
love these
It's a true
things.
story, but
Okay.
I did a version of the detective's version. and-
Oh, so fiction based on
Yeah,
a real
my
story.
own. And you want to know what's crazy? So I wrote a letter to the eyeball killer, and I wrote
Whoa.
I wrote him a letter. He's in Texas. He's 80 something years old.
Whoa.
He never wrote back, but I wrote a letter describing my eyes. So basically, the eyeball killer is a man
You're
that
I have these gorgeous blue eyes.
My
If
big
you
blue
wanna-
eyes.
If you want to relate, then just write me back. I
Everyone
do
thinks
have
it's
eyeballs
creepy.
that you might want to scoop out.
no, everyone thinks it's creepy. They're like, "Wow, you really put yourself on the spot." But I was hoping I could film him to make the movie more valuable. You know?
Yeah.
In a way, you're like Jodie Foster going in and speaking to that guy.
Ooh.
I would have loved it. I mean, what can you really
She's
do?
really
to me?
brave.
You know?
She's so brave. Just
Ooh,
to zip
I
line.
just got the chills thinking about it.
I saw a picture.
Let's all send a rise.
I follow her on Facebook, and I don't travel anywhere, but she'll be on this giant mountain, almost ready
Dangling.
to fall off
Dangling.
with her camera. I'm I'm looking
Yeah,
I'm looking at the photo. I'm like, oh my god,
But
she's gonna die.
And then she's riding
She's so
a giraffe
brave.
with a parrot on her lap.
She's freaking brave.
And princesses behind her.
Bruno
It's-
is watching. Hi, Bruno.
Hello, Bruno.
And everybody's saying hi to Bruno.
Bruno.
But yeah, you have a lot of bravery.
You have one of those lives on Instagram and social media where it's not fair.
Oh, thank you.
You see all the photographs that you do and all the fun that you're having, and it's wow, you really are getting the extent out of all your days and traveling and
I'm trying.
living and really pictures of you behind the camera and pictures of you doing self-portraits in front of the camera. There was one that I saw that I loved. It was probably
it's
a year
almost like
ago,
art.
maybe now. Yeah, no, it was all you had, I think, all paint on your face.
Oh yeah, my sister-in-law helped me with that.
Oh my god, that was beautiful. I saw that and I was like, wow, she's good.
Yeah, she was
I
my
love this.
I actually had her as my makeup artist at one point, but then
Okay,
she got
cool.
super pregnant. She had a lot of difficulties, So like we didn't have her work for me for a while.
Okay.
But she's been home with me, and I'm like, oh, I want to do this crazy shoot. Like, do you want to throw paint at my face? She's like, I would love to do that. I was like, okay, great.
I want nothing more than to smash
Nothing more
eggs
than
and paint it.
Throw shit at your face, Sarah. So I was like, okay, great. And it came out so good.
It was beautiful.
And she thought I was crazy. So I had this little timer, and I set up all my lights, and like, you just see it. It's a small little freaking dinky room. And I have all my stuff and all my lights, and she can't even barely move. She's like, oh, she's trying to like flick stuff at me. And I'm just like, I'm like this.
Well, it came out perfect.
You're like, can you please get in there?
I'm like, wait, and then
she's
I was
like, I'm not trying
embarrassed.
to make a mess.
No, I felt so embarrassed because she's like watching me do it. And it's
I
like,
know, I feel like I'm trying to be like
It's
artsy, like I'm trying to be like weird and cool.
she's like giggling at me behind. I'm like, can you like? I'm like trying to get a good shot here, and it looked like Illuminati. Like it looked sick. I think I actually
really did. I saw it and I was like,
it
wow,
was
she's
awesome.
like actually got something going on here. Like that's like my style of art.
I really
you know?
love
like,
that one, and that was
These
so
two
good.
have such great fashion, sense too. Like look at Mandy, and I posted pictures of Sarah. Can bring this closer?
I don't know if it'll go, but
yeah.
that was the photo, and I just love it so much.
I
was
love
like,
it.
I finally got a good one. Like you have no. That took like 20 tries.
No, it's perfect.
But I was so embarrassed because she's like giggling at me.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
send me that. Now that you
Oh,
have
I
it
will, I
open,
will.
and I'll
So-
repo-
shit.
I'll
Do you
repost
know
it.
who Christopher Osman is?
yes.
He's saying, "Write the girls lives life,"
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
which
you.
is
She
true.
really does.
Thank
She
you.
really
especially in
does.
these times. When
It's been
everybody-
really hard.
So Greg DeFilippo is so sweet. He's saying, "Hot damn, 3 hot ladies. Good evening, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. In case we forget, happy Thanksgiving to
Yes,
everybody.
seriously.
Happy
We hope you have a
Be
wonderful
safe.
turkey." Nancy Weems is saying, "Happy Thanksgiving."
Happy
Hi, Nancy.
Thanksgiving.
How are
Love
you?
Nancy.
So, were you nervous doing your first film, or were you just like
You know
it
what?
just came naturally
Or
to
what
you?
position were you most nervous as? Like,
On my first film, it was like we had a
acting or directing, or you know what I mean?
do you mean like my first acting job or my first film?
Well,
like
she's
film?
saying
No, like
she's
the
talking
fir-
about
when you were
being
in
nervous.
charge.
What
When I was in charge?
role
Okay.
is most
Because as a
nerve-wracking?
woman,
Camera, everything's under time limits. Like people show up late or they don't show up at all. You have to make sure everybody's accounted for.
Okay.
So if somebody doesn't show up, I'm never going to invite them back again. So
Right,
it's like it's
yeah.
over for them.
That's how I
Yeah.
am with the comedy, because it's like you just you wasted
You're
my
like,
time.
just let me know.
And there's a million people
Like I
that
can
would
replace
love your
you.
spice.
Yeah, I can
Exactly.
replace you in a minute. Like just let me know.
And we could be cool.
Right.
And we could work again in the future, or you could be 86. I do 86 people.
You know, and then like somebody,
she
if
does
somebody
that.
shows up late,
I'm like, they're 86, fine, no.
automatically when they're late, depending on how late they are, they still have to get into makeup, they still have to get their hair,
Right,
wardrobe.
so yeah, you
blah, blah,
now
blah.
it's everybody's time.
Everybody's time
that
got
you're
screwed.
wasting.
Yeah, it's just so that's stressful. But the first time I ever took charge was my first film, Nefarious. And we were supposed to have a whole team, like a crew, do the camera work. So I was just going to co-direct. All of a sudden, my at the time, my partner was like, "Oh, yeah, the crew couldn't show up today." I'm like, "What do you mean they couldn't show up?" He's like, "Do you think you can get cameras?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, I was so new at it. It turns out that I did know somebody who had cameras. And so I sent them a message. I'm like, "Oh, God. Like, this is going to cost an arm and a leg. I don't know what to do." Sure enough, he was so sweet. For like a third of the price, he rented out all his equipment to me. And like, I had no idea what I was doing. My colors were all over the place. But I took the camera, I took charge, and I freaking did it.
Oh
and
my god!
I kind of learned as I went. It was really bad, but it was so good. And eventually I figured out color grading, and I figured that out later. And I actually remastered that first movie. So it is going to be ready for release once my last film, is released.
Oh,
So I'm gonna
that's
release them both on the same
cool.
year.
That's
Oh,
really
yes, thank you.
cool that you're doing like a
I remastered
remastered
it because
edition.
I know how bad the colors were, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe 600 people bought tickets to this thing. Like, oh God, I'm so sorry, guys. Thank you. Jesus. But you know what? I found out too as a filmmaker, it doesn't matter the quality of your work as much as the story and the sound.
Yeah.
Can people hear you?
Yeah.
Do people know what they're looking at? Does the story make sense? So story and sound, I'd say, wins above picture quality. So anyone out there that's like, oh, I don't want to film myself because the quality will be shit. It's not shit. It doesn't matter. Do people get what you're trying to portray? You can absolutely film yourself at home. It's not a problem.
Right. It's why you could get drawn into a documentary that's gritty and done by people who are not
Right.
filmmakers, because they have a story that is worth telling and you'll watch it.
Exactly. I tell people all the time, I'm like, don't worry about the quality. especially when actors audition for me because they have to send a self-tape. They're like, oh, it doesn't look good, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, we'll take care of the look good. How do you sound?
Right.
How do you read the lines?
Right.
That's all we're looking for. We don't care. It's not that specific.
Well, two people had something to say. Lou Pratt, who's a friend of ours,
Oh, great.
he said the only thing worse than being late is being late with coffee in your hand. That's so true.
Thank you.
That means like
know.
you had time to stop off and get yourself a coffee
That
and you're
makes me
late.
so mad. I'm like, we have coffee on set.
Yeah, I was a teacher.
We have good coffee.
So even if you were on time, you were late.
Mm-hmm.
Craig Witowski,
Witowski.
he said, Sarah is the consummate professional with an incredible work ethic. I saw this on the set of Nefarious, and she was fantastic to work with.
Yes.
She busts her ass in everything she does. She certainly does. Even when she has fun, she like doubles down and goes for it in the fun side.
No, he's great. He was actually on my set with his beautiful wife, and we had such a great time. And I'm so glad they could be a part of it because we had a weather situation where we had a bunch of extras, and we got rained out. They came back, and they did it, and it was amazing. And I'm just so thankful because we had lost a lot of people because of that. So, weather, things like weather cost us thousands of dollars.
Yeah. If you wanted to do an outside shoot.
And then we lose because we already rented it. So we literally lose that money. It doesn't come back to us. And it's a failure.
Do you know someone named Eric Marone? M-E-R?
Yes, I do.
He said, hey, Sarah, Governor Cuomo says hello.
Oh, fuck Cuomo. Sorry. No politics.
Yeah, we're not allowed to talk politics. But I think that's a nonpartisan issue.
I hate
think
him as
everybody
a person,
feels
not
that.
as a politician.
Yeah, he's telling everybody to stay home and have 10 people. But we're not going to talk about that.
Yes, he says, no politics, please. I love you guys.
No politics. But as far as how you get people to be your actors and actresses, do you have certain people that you use most of the time that like are your favorites, or you're constantly looking for new people?
I'm always looking for new faces, first and foremost, but I do have a group of people that I use every single movie. I tell them about it every single time because they've been so easy to work with. I try to juggle it around, give them better roles, depending on what it is. If they want it, I tell them they can audition for it. But everybody does have to go through an audition. And then additionally, I go through Actors Access, Backstage.com. Those are all actor outlets. Actors Access, Backstage, casting networks. Those are really great networks, you guys. If you want to know where the auditions are, you do pay a monthly. If you get one job, it'll pay for the year, just so you know. So it's really not a waste of money. If somebody's ever looking for money up front, besides those, it's usually a scam. Don't fall for the garbage. Don't do acting classes. Here's my best advice for you guys. I'm going to give it to you right now for free.
Oh, I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Ready? Number 1. Have you ever read a book to a kid?
Yes.
Most people have. And if you haven't, well, get to it.
I was a teacher.
Yeah, seriously. Then you're going to hell already.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. You're halfway there. You've read a book to a kid, so you know that
like,
you
for
dramatize.
32 years times 30 kids.
So you know how it is. You
have to
dramatize.
Times
You read the book.
365 days a year.
And number 2, have you ever lied? If you tell me you haven't, you're a liar. So congratulations, you're 100% an actor. Now just get the confidence to do it. Just do it. What do you have to lose?
Good.
That'll be $500. It's on my PayPal, no problem. Just kidding.
We'll put her Venmo up.
Oh,
later.
we have
if
somebody.
You get a job, it'll be worth it.
But that is the truth. Just be yourself. Read the lines how you would read them. I try to tell people this all the time. You don't need an acting class. It's garbage. They steal your money.
What about memorizing lines? Because I have no
memorizing
memory.
lines. My best way to memorize lines is you can never be so good at it, but try to make a song out of it in your mind.
Like,
read them every day. Read them in the mirror.
That's what we do.
Watch them out.
It's what we do.
Yeah.
Well, as I touch your food, it's what we do with everybody needs to know about it. It's what we do with our comedy. I mean, when me and Mandy can't get to
read
open
the mirror.
mics,
Yeah,
I recite mine in the car. I recite mine in the shower.
Talk to yourself. It's okay. It's okay to talk to
My
yourself.
mom always told me that's what the creatives kids do.
They really do.
We have somebody watching all the way from Australia.
Australia.
Julie
Hello.
Angelina.
Oh,
She's
that's
saying
the Real
good day.
Housewives.
Yes.
Good day.
And also Joseph Marish.
Hello.
Marshish. He said instilling
yes.
fear helps Sarah too.
Yes.
Joseph, I'm coming for you.
And Lou Pratt is saying I read a book to my kids, and I'm lying about that.
Yes, Lou,
you read a book to your kids.
You're 100% ready to rock then.
I haven't had a mic on.
But that's
this whole
my
time.
best bet.
Are you kidding?
Everyone could hear me. I'm yelling.
Oh my God.
Why didn't you guys tell us that Mandy didn't have our mic on? We depend on you, the viewers, to like let us in. Like they tell us right away, like, oh, you know, you have something on wrong or this or that.
I'll blame you.
Yeah.
No, well, what I want to say is that everyone's really an actor. It's just whether or not they want to come out with it or not. you know, as long as you can read the lines genuinely, you'll be fine. If it makes you nervous or you're not ready for it, then maybe acting's not for you. That's okay. It's not for everyone.
I mean, and what Dan Romano talks about, like, he's always like, I'm not an actor. He's
great. I make him so good in my films. Oh my
but
God.
they made him, when he showed up, he said, I'm not an actor, and he was himself. So that way they pick a character that you fit naturally
He fits into the character so well. I actually called him back for the one. And he did a great job. So the first film I had Dan Romano on, it was Menagerie. And he played a pimp.
Perfect role. And I love Dan.
I actually got this jacket from. I got it from the job lodge. Dan Romano was wearing this in that movie.
One of his famous lines in that movie, if you don't mind, it's a little crude. I'll say it.
Oh my God, we're the most crude people on earth.
He goes, "You've been sucking dick all night, and all you got is $60. Where's my fucking money?" So that was one of Dan Romano's
saying that perfectly.
He
That's
probably
funny.
said that anyway.
And I imagined that. Actually, Dan Romano, I'm sorry.
That's a line he probably uses every day.
Yeah, like you haven't said that already in your life.
And then he comes to collect money in the one. So he actually beats the shit out of this young kid in the bar, and it was great. He did such a great job. And you know, it was crazy because
he probably loved it, being the tough guy and
he was so
beating the
sweet.
shit out of a kid.
I wish he was tuning in. He always contacts me during the show, so I tune in. But
I
don't know how to do that.
Yeah, he's got his restaurant and everything. And you know what? He actually went late to work that day because of me. We were running an hour behind.
Aww.
So it was so
sweet. So he beat the shit out of a kid.
He probably loved that.
Collected the money and left. That was his only scene in the one, but it was great.
So my boyfriend is saying when I make up my own lines, they're the funniest ever because you give me a line, I'll turn it into something completely like what it's not supposed to be.
I invite a lot of improv into my films. Sometimes I keep it, sometimes I don't, or sometimes I'll be like, you know what, guys, let's stick to the script. If it's really good and it feels like there's good chemistry, I keep it. So sometimes those are my best.
Yes,
scenes.
because of their raw.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Julie Angelina from Australia, she really wants to be an actress, but she's all the way in Australia.
Oh.
So, like, I guess you have to find out.
It's Julie, what's her name?
Julie Angelina.
Julie Angelina. Well, what I
and
can
she
say
loves
for
Dan
you,
Romano too. She's a fan of Dan Romano.
Well, there has to be some actors outlets out there in Australia, right?
Right.
Yeah.
There has to be something out there for you. I don't know what it's called in Australia because obviously I only know the United States. But there is something for you. And don't be discouraged to apply to something in the United States, to join those United States casting networks. Because you could be the role that they're looking for. You know, if you really believe in it,
get a free flight.
You would fly out. I flew a few people.
Wow.
I know I'm low budget, independent, but I have flown people across the United States. Now that's just the United States, but don't.
She said Australia is shit.
Well, listen, I've never seen a wallaby.
That's funny.
If I ever wanted to, I'd go to Australia, but I wouldn't fly Qantas because they want us to take the vaccine now. Fuck. Anyway, speaking of which, there should be some kind of outlet for you there that can maybe just to get your resume going, or just film yourself doing monologues, make a YouTube video, get yourself out there your own way, and then come to the States.
Did you guys in the audience ever be a part of a show, a movie or whatever? I did. I was twice as an extra. So one time I was paid and one time I wasn't.
Oh.
And one was filmed at the brokerage. And it seemed like a great movie.
I'm going to guess that's the unpaid one.
No, that was the paid one.
What was the movie?
They gave me they wouldn't tell us. They said it was a secret. And
I've never heard that in my life, but it was paid?
Yeah. And I was paid as a non-union person. I got $100, but I worked like 12 hours in a row. I mean, they kept feeding us and everything.
Yeah, it's going to be a long day.
That's all Bonnie cares about. As
yeah,
long as you feed her, she'll work for free.
Yeah, but they
food.
kept filming. This you could talk about. They kept filming the same scene over and over and over.
Yep.
And this was about a comic who was handicapped. And so he got up on this, he was sitting with his, it wasn't his turn yet. And he was waiting to go up and he's with his nephew or whatever. And he's like, don't laugh at the other comics because like when I go up, I want to have the most laughs. So, you know, his nephew wasn't listening and he kept laughing. He was getting madder and madder. Then he goes up and he bombs. And and then he gets on the stage and he starts cursing out the audience because he was so mad.
Oh no!
He did it perfectly, and they made us redo it like 100 times.
Yep.
And I'm like, he's doing it the same way every time perfectly.
Well,
like, what is going on? Why do they have to film it again? So Sarah, now you can answer that question.
I'll explain it to you. Why do they have to film a scene so many times?
Maybe the light angles. I don't know.
So yep, you're right about that. As well as there's many angles that they film a scene at. Multiple angles, in fact. They want to get the angle of the actor. They want to get a close up. They want to get a far shot. They want to get a near shot, whatever, a mid shot, medium shot, whatever they want to call it. There's all different shots they want to take for the cuts because it just makes it fit into place. There could be 100 takes on a scene.
Yeah.
And it could be very, very boring for people who don't like the film industry. I've seen a lot of people come on set for the first day and they're like, you know what? This just isn't for me. It's boring. It's all day long. It's repetitive. It's the same scene. It's the same scene. It's the same scene. You know, it can be. It could be an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours on the same scene. Because they want to get the actor's angle. They want to get a far shot. Then they want to get a close shot. So then they want to get a medium shot. Then they want to get the audience view. Now it's the opposite. Now they want to get behind the actor and get what they're seeing, their POV, you know, what they're seeing. There's just so much involved. Then there's side shots. There's above shots.
Right.
There could be below shots, depending on what you're looking for. There's so many angles and different things. So when you see that little cut board, the little marker, you know, it's scene 5, take A1. So that's angle 1. It could be B. Scene 5, take B2. That's angle B, which is angle 2. You know, and so on and so forth. You can go through the whole alphabet. You can go through numbers 1 through 200 if you had to. The most takes I've ever done on a film was 62.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh my
And
God.
that was it was literally like a 2-second scene, and it took forever to edit because there was just so many different little cuts.
Yeah.
And I wanted it to look so good. And the problem is that sometimes your actors won't repeat the same thing. So even though you cut it the same way, they could go like this, and then the next scene they're like this.
Right.
So you can't possibly cut that together.
Right.
So you're like, you know what, cut, let's do it again.
Yeah.
Make sure you swipe from the left.
Yeah,
Make sure you
right,
swipe from the right,
right.
whatever it is.
Then you mumbled.
So you can
do
make
it again.
So this scene, so we have a front scene, and then boom, your side scene, so it matches.
Right.
Everything's got to match like a puzzle.
Right.
So it is labeled, it is crazy, and we film out of order. So sometimes we film the last scene to the first scene. Sometimes we film the last scene, the first scene,
Yeah, that
the
I know.
third
It's
scene,
all
and
out
the
of
10th
order.
scene.
We were
All out of order.
we were definitely
Yeah.
doing it out of order.
Oh,
They
it's
shot
crazy.
3 scenes. I came at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I didn't leave till 1 in the morning, and they still had some actors that were staying after that
Yeah.
to film just 3 scenes.
Sometimes all you have is that one day with the location. and
That's
you're like,
exactly it.
you
They
run out
had
of
the
time.
one day, and they were going to get it. So my
run out of
boyfriend
time.
wants to know, like, so how many cameras are used in most scenes?
I have 3 cameras, but to be honest, majority of the time I use 1 or 2. I use 1 camera mainly as my main camera, and I use 2 cameras if it's a 2-shot, meaning there's 2 people. For example, we have Bonnie and Mandy right now. I would have 2 cameras on them, so I can have 1 on Mandy, 1 on Bonnie. Sorry, let's call you Maddie. 1 on Bonnie, and then I would have a 3rd camera to get the 2-shot. So I can do it all in 1 take. I
So
don't have
what
to worry
we're
about it.
doing here with that 1 camera, she would actually be using 3
3.
cameras.
So 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and actually Glenn talks about we do have another camera doing the angle, which we have done before, but it's just like if I'm being the board op as well, it's
No, yeah,
it's like
and
a
for
lot.
this, it's totally fine. This is actually great. This is a great setup.
The one day that we had Heather Lehrman on, and she was showing us like workouts. So like we used that camera,
Oh,
and
yeah.
she actually stood here and did some workouts and got on the floor, and me and Bonnie, crack jokes on her, and she was a sport,
Of course.
So like when we got pandemic, condemned to the house, whatever you're calling this, plagued, people are such assholes. Whatever we're calling what happened in 2020, me and Glenn, the house became a studio. So Glenn was like, we can actually make our house look like a lot bigger than it is. When you
looks
take,
huge.
when you take your little kitchen over here and you put your camera in the furthest
It's
corner
amazing.
possible, and then he's like, oh, well,
Yeah.
we'll get the boom up here, and then we had,
Very creative.
and then we're like, oh, well, we'll put a whiteboard here. We'll play Pictionary, and it'll look like we're in a different room because there's not a table. And
It's so easy to cheat. It's called cheating the shot. You can always make a room look like more than 1 room, 2
Right.
rooms, 3 rooms, and so on and so forth.
I mean,
it's really amazing.
I love Lucy, and it was the kitchen, the living room,
Oh, yeah.
the
it's flat.
bedroom.
That was one of the best films
and it's
of all
flat, 'cause
time.
it's just a stage.
Right, it was
Yeah.
just the
Yeah.
three rooms, and every once in a while you would see the hallway, or she would go to a drugstore that was like,
Right,
a
that was
little bit
very
out of
rare.
the budget, but it was that was rare. Like,
Yep.
So,
Maybe
so
for the final
Taz
scene,
is-
they'd be down at the Tropicana.
Taz, the residential artist, is tuning in, and Taz is yes, she's an artist. So you should really, if you're not Facebook friends with Sarah Martin, you should really connect. There's a couple of people. I just want to say that when I put you up in the story, you got almost 400 views on my story.
Oh, great.
And a couple of messages that said, I want to meet her. I want to.
Yeah,
I shall tell you after the show.
I had a few messages, and I got about 7 friend requests in the last day from that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
my
that was
mom's,
cool.
my mom's saying Happy Turkey Day.
Oh, yes,
Taz.
thank-
Happy
Happy
Turkey Day.
Happy Turkey Day to
Mom.
everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And also, Bruno's saying, Mandy and me, the pandemic really helped you get us going on our own way.
Right. Well, no, it's
Way to
true,
go.
Bruno.
It kind of forced us
it
to.
forced
Right,
us
it
to
forced it to.
because we didn't
Yeah.
have stand-up comedy. The reason we got into stand-up comedy is because we're lunatics who go to therapists, but we still need to hold people hostage by camera.
Sure.
We need
You know,
attention.
we need attention.
It was either this
We
or
didn't
nothing
get it
at all.
growing up, and we need it now.
Yeah.
And then we had the podcast,
Same.
and then they're like, all right, well, you could still use our program if you work from home. And we were like, no problem.
Amen. I'll do it right now.
No problem.
Thanks to Mandy.
You
I would
know,
do it
and
immediately.
Glenn actually
Glenn, of
figured all
course.
this out and showed me what to do, and you know,
Awesome.
we paid for some software, and you know, we were fucking having nothing but fun because honestly, we needed something to look forward to. When I was working remote, I thank God I had a job, but I was in my pajamas all week.
Yeah.
You know, and
It's
then
been really-
and
it's
then
been a
on
hard year.
Wednesday, I'm like, I'm gonna shower and put makeup on because Bonnie's coming
Yeah,
over.
we're
I don't
doing
wanna
the
be a
show.
stinky freaking girl. But you know, but it's good for it was good for my mental health because I was breaking routine
Yeah, you
and I
needed-
was
people
working
need
from
this.
home, like not showering, like I said,
Yeah,
just
people
like
need work. People need things to do.
And kids
This
need
pandemic,
school.
Pandemic has been really, it's been bringing the depression out in people
Oh,
more
of
than
course.
ever. Anxiety more than ever.
Of
People
course.
don't know what to do. It's been really hard, even for me. I know it doesn't seem like it because of what I've been doing,
right.
But I have no idea what to do with my 8 employees right now. We have been doing almost nothing.
And that's so stressful
it's
to
been
you.
really, I feel like I'm
because,
going to lose them, and they're so loyal.
Yeah, and you know, God bless you, but you know what? It's like it's so sad that the arts are what suffered during
Really
this.
bad.
And but the thing
Broadway is not going to do it for
but
till
what-
July.
What is great is that everybody stayed home and watched Tiger King and Netflix and all these movies. So making movies is not going anywhere. People
Streaming.
watching movies and streaming movies is not going anywhere.
Absolutely.
So it's not a bad place to have and the internet's not going anywhere either. So if you want to get onto, you know, even a pay-per-view type of thing where it's literally, hey,
I
Venmo
considered
me,
it.
Venmo me, and I'll give you a fucking link.
I did
You know what
consider
I
that.
mean? Like, because there are private links on YouTube, and people will watch movies on YouTube. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? Like,
I
people
am-
watch series on YouTube now.
Yeah, I am working on for the next year doing more series type episodic.
Oh,
film.
cool.
Okay, cool.
So I've broken a few of my movie scripts down into episodic. It's taken me a
That's
while.
cool because that's like
It's
that's
hard.
honestly watching a movie with my husband. He's like, oh, they're gonna get killed. They're gonna get.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you know already.
every plot hole. He's like, and I never watch movies like that. I suspend my disbelief. But now that I'm with him, I'm like,
You're
are
right.
they gonna get together? What you know? So any movie
can
that
read them.
surprises him is great. So having
It's
a
great.
series that
I'm
surprises
the only one that
people
didn't
is
really
watch
hard.
the Lion King thing.
Oh, the Lion King.
The
Tiger King.
The Tiger thing.
It's really
I didn't
hard.
watch that.
Yeah,
Oh, I
no,
didn't.
it's-
I
you didn't
know.
miss much.
But,
It's insanity.
but Bruno is saying he loves to follow Sarah Martin because she's living life to the fullest. I get
thank you.
I get a big kick out of your
I live
post.
vicariously through you. Yeah, honestly,
100%.
it's called Slotzilla, and she's
Slotzilla.
literally zip tied into Vegas, and they literally just soar her over.
Go to
fucking
her
Vegas.
Facebook page and see
And
for
it's
yourself.
a TikTok video, and I felt like I was there for a minute.
Yeah,
you
go-
know?
I try to do the POVs. I think they're really
It's really
important.
cool.
Yeah,
Um,
point of view, by the way, for you people.
Point of view.
Not penis in vagina.
Penis on demand.
So Robin DeVito is saying a compliment to us that Mandy and Bonnie are the most entertaining women on the air today. Thank you, Robin.
They are.
I love Robin.
I love Robin too.
Now Lou Pratt says he wants to be in a movie.
Yes,
And-
let's get you in here.
Well, we're gonna have to see your. I'm just kidding.
And my
Audition.
boyfriend wants
Oh
to
my
know if
Maybe
there
those
is
boots are.
there much of a market of short stories type of movies.
Is there much of a market for a short story? Yes. Actually, that is actually where industry is heading is the short episodic. People's
I
attention
think
spans.
I was just going to say,
Yeah.
people's attention spans are,
Right.
are
If I see
shot.
a movie
Maker.
is 2 hours and 30 minutes, no matter who's in it, it could be an all-star
Ah,
cast.
it's
Me
2
and-
hours.
Me and Glenn will be like, there's 45 minutes of that movie that does not need to be in there.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. People are
Like comedy,
moving.
edit.
People are moving to
Reduce the
episodic
fat.
and short.
Yeah.
Just attention spans in general. That is the future,
Yeah.
especially now with coronavirus. Everyone with the pandemic, or ordering.
They
at
can
home.
only stand their family for an hour
Yeah.
on the couch. So
And
we need to have hour-long
Right,
videos.
They
and
start
then,
fighting on the couch.
and then
watching
they
each
go to
other.
their separate rooms and quarantine.
Well, yeah, if they're home. Here's the thing, like, especially with work, everyone's like, "Oh, we're gonna work at home forever." No. People can't stay on their families that long. People will
and
go
the,
back
and the
to
same
work.
with the kids in the school.
Yeah, people
Now,
are like,
People
"Can
will
I
go back
please?"
to work. I
they're
promise.
like, send my kids back to school. Now, Gina Kajemi Coffin, she said, IATSE Local 1, the Broadway Union.
IATSE.
IATSE. Just opened
I'll
a
hit
food
that.
bank. My poor
That's
friends
not
have no
funny
idea.
at all.
My poor friends have no idea when they will work again. It's sad, which
It's
is very
sad.
sad.
It's very
Now,
sad.
Bruno has a question. Ask Sarah Martin what she thinks about the motion picture movie industry will fare in this pandemic.
They're hurting. It's crippling. Hollywood is at the ends meet. They're literally putting Mulan for $30 for Disney Plus. If you don't steal it, I mean, you want to spend $30 for Mulan? Mulan was a fucking flop. I'm just sorry. I saw it. I saw it.
And I actually seemed like during the pandemic, we would be looking through movies, and me and my
For
husband, are
$30?
like, we were like, didn't they just like? It seemed like they were taking stuff off the floor and just like bring this movie to life, like because they don't know when we're
Listen,
gonna be able
the
to
average-
meet again or whatever. They like wrapped shit up like with a bow and just threw it at us.
The average person can't pay $8 for Netflix a month. You think that they want to
This is
pay
the end.
$30 for freaking Mulan?
Yeah, once.
No offense, Disney. It was a great idea, and that's why I say episodic is going to do well in this.
Yeah.
Because people can only do episodically.
Right.
And they want to also binge watch.
Right.
People don't want to they don't want to wait a week for Mandalorian per se. They're gonna forget Mandalorian for a while, and then they're gonna hit it up when the season is released.
Right, Friday night. They're
Right.
Friday and Saturday night. They want to
Some-
watch
And some people
8
will.
episodes.
You know, some people will, don't get me wrong. Some people like the idea of every week the one episode comes out. Of course, everyone likes tradition, right? Blah, blah, blah. But no, the average person was like, I am ready for now. I want it now. We need to be ready with these episodes.
Yeah.
We need the whole season.
Now,
So when I do film episodically, in theory, that's a few hours worth of footage. So that's like a movie, 2 movies that
Right.
I'm
yeah,
filming.
it's hard.
It's a lot of work,
It's a
but
lot
I
of work.
don't want to release it episode to episode, even though I will.
Right.
Obviously, because that's what everyone does, right? If I had the money, right, I would release the whole episode. But that's not how it works for independents. We are screwed entirely, just like the rest of the world, unfortunately. And yeah, so I in a perfect world, I would have the whole episode season for you. But I don't know what I'm going to do moving forward. It will be episodes.
But I actually, I'm not, I see fear in your eyes, but you should not be fearful because I know that you're someone who's resourceful and you're going to make it because you are someone who's traveling even
I have
though there's a
few
pandemic.
projects up my sleeve.
Yeah.
One is a movie, though.
She's
One
gonna
is a movie.
she's gonna reboot herself.
Yeah,
and-
exactly.
and-
Adapt and
and that's what
overcome.
Christopher
You
Osman
know,
is
you're
saying.
too young to just roll over and say, "Oh, the movie industry is whatever." Like,
I
it's
did
not
happen-
dead.
Christopher Osman says that's a great idea. You have to adapt. Now,
Yes, you have to adapt.
I put a post up that just said, "What's your favorite movie that you would watch more than 5 times?"
Oh yes.
And I got, like, the last time I looked, I can't keep up with it. I'm up to 800 comments.
I almost don't want to let you leave because you never saw Little Miss Sunshine.
I know. Oh, there's so many
Oh my
movies.
God.
I have so many
That's
movies I
so
never
funny.
saw.
Watch that after
I
this.
did not see that.
There's
Yeah.
so many movies that came up, and that's why I was going to bring it up.
We're watching.
A
Fruit
couple of
Popcorn.
them kept repeating. Like, people kept saying Tombstone. Have you ever seen Tombstone?
Oh, I watched Tombstone recently.
I've
That's my
never seen
stepdad's
it.
favorite movie.
Aw.
That's like a cowboy movie.
Yeah.
That's like
and then some people that I know, like Mark White, said some movie I never heard of, and I go, I did not see. Whenever I didn't see it, I said the same thing to people, whether I know them or I don't know them. I said I did not see it, and he gave me an angry face, and I'm like, all right, I'll watch it. You scare me, you know.
Right, I'll watch
All
it.
right.
I get so many requests to watch movies. They're like, "How could you have not seen
Right,
X, Y, and
right.
Z?" I'm like, "Because I watched WBQ. I
And
don't
I've
know.
been
Leave me alone."
making
Right.
movies. People get mad at me
They
that
get
I
very
don't
mad.
watch Bert Kreischer's podcast. I'm like, I
they
filmed
insult
3
me.
podcasts out of my house.
They're
so
like, you're a horror filmmaker and you haven't seen this?
I don't have
Yeah.
time
I'm
to
like,
watch
sorry.
other people's podcasts
Yeah.
as much as I love them.
I watch movies very differently, especially since I make them. I literally digest the film. I can barely
it's not
understand.
even fun.
Yeah, to me, I'm like, ooh, how did they do
You're
that?
like,
And I'm
look
like,
at that
oh, that's so
lamp.
boring. Like, they literally did the mirror thing with the hanging
This again
string.
with the fucking
I'm like,
same scene.
I literally dissect films now. Every now and then, though, it's very rare that I'm like, wow, I'm so captivated by this film.
Well, I love Wes Anderson. What are your thoughts on him?
Oh,
Oh,
I
it's
never
very
heard
good.
of him. I have not
love
seen
him.
that
Wow.
movie.
Oh yeah, I gotta bring.
Now, Gina, Gina
I love
Kajemi
him.
Coffin said, we in feature film and episodic TV are hurting. Most in IATC local
IATC.
52 just went back to work a month ago.
Ah, I know.
Sets keep shutting down from the positive COVID tests. That's so sad.
It's really awful.
It's terrible. Julie Angelina wants to follow you on your Facebook page.
Oh, yes, of course. Please do.
And Eric Maroon said, LOL, I just realized the 3 of you aren't in the same room. We are in the same
yes,
room.
we are. Look, watch. Look at
It's
that.
just 2 different
Yes, we
cameras.
are. Yes, we are in the same room.
We
Look
are
at
in the
that.
same
We're in
room.
the same room. We're just different cameras.
Yeah.
I have my
That
own.
is
And
the,
they have,
that
She
is
has
the
that
beauty
camera.
of the angle.
We have this camera, but we're in the same room.
Can you tell me who some of your mentors were, whether they were
Yes.
film or
That's a
not?
good question.
People, like work ethic mentors.
Good question.
I really was a huge fan of Kubrick films.
Okay.
I actually lit in my last film, The One, which hasn't been out yet. It was supposed to release in March, but because of the pandemic, it's The One. It's about online dating gone wrong. It's a psychological thriller.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah, we have
a little scary.
Joey Ganiscoli from The Sopranos does have a feature in it.
Okay.
And
Which one is he? Because I watched The Sopranos.
Vito, he plays Vito.
And Vito was... Michael gets
crackhead?
mad at me
He
because I
sucks
can't
the
keep the
dick
characters.
in the car.
The crackhead.
No,
He
sucks-
was the homosexual?
Yes.
Okay. So, our friend Robin DeVito's friends with him.
Oh, great. He's a little
Yeah,
bit of a
that's
pervert,
so
but
cool.
okay.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I
Okay.
didn't mean to
Can
interrupt.
you ask your question again?
This is live actually.
Yeah.
She said, "Who were your people that
Oh, yeah, so
inspired you?"
Kubrick. Oh, so in the...
Well, mentors, and I said you started doing inspirations, but
Yes.
mentors as well, real life people.
Oh, real life people.
But Kubrick, go ahead.
I actually lit one of my scenes similar to Kubrick where he did the candlelights in, oh gosh, what the heck was it called? Oh, I'm gonna die.
Oh, is it Eyes Wide Shut?
Nope. Ready, hang on. Kubrick films. I'm gonna die because I don't know this one right now. Hang on. It's called...
He's a Clockwork Orange. He's
Nope, it's Barry Lyndon. Barry
Oh,
Lyndon.
I've never seen that.
It's so freaking good if you like older style films.
Okay.
Kubrick was amazing, and he lit with just candlelight. So I lit one of my scenes with just firelight, which I thought I was like so badass. I was like, oh, I'm lighting this with just firelight. Like, wow, everyone's gonna think I'm so cool. Everyone's like, Barry Lyndon? What? I'm like, never mind. You're uncivilized. I'm just kidding.
Make it brighter, Sarah.
Uncultured swines. No, right. Why is it so dim?
Why is the light so natural looking?
No, but I was
Where
so
are
proud
the
of myself.
fluorescent lights?
As a nerd, I was like,
Yeah, that's good.
Barry Lyndon is.
That's good.
Can we
That's good.
ask everyone who's watching the show if everybody could just share the show right now?
Please,
Give
We're
us a
begging
share.
you.
Oh,
Press
need you
the
to
share
share.
button because Sarah will get more views, and everybody will start following Sarah on her Facebook page. Where else can they find you besides Facebook?
Well, you can find me on Instagram. I'm Strawberry Lady is my personal. It's STRAWB 3 RRY Strawberry with a 3 Lady. Strawberry Lady. That's my personal, and then of course Silent Envy Productions. And I just made a sister company.
Is that on Instagram too?
It is on, both of them are on Instagram.
Okay.
And you just made a sister company.
I just made a sister company called Two Crew Films.
Now that's also just filmmaking. Why do two companies? What's the difference?
The reason why I made a second company was because we were expanding at the time. This was last year.
Okay.
So we just expanded. We were doing really well. And I thought that we could bring in more crew members.
Okay.
So it kind of like flopped with this year.
But it was a new layout
It's
of
a
the
new-
company.
Right. We were gonna do more like commercials, music videos with Two Crew, and then keep
Okay.
Silent Envy as movies, commercials,
Your art.
mainstream. Right.
Mm.
So it's all filming aspects, but we were gonna do different aspects depending on the company.
Okay.
And each project was gonna be like in association with. So we were going to provide both.
Yep.
It was going to be really cool. We actually were going to bring on 16 more people.
And you keep saying it was. I don't doubt that you're
It
still
will.
going to do
Oh,
this.
you're gonna
You're
pop back.
still do
You're gonna
this.
spring
We're
back.
taking a little break.
Yeah, and just the world's getting crazy, but it's not
Yes.
stopping, and you're not stopping.
Yeah, there was a lot of plans. I had so many people I wanted to bring on. I thought it could bring a lot of work for makeup artists, creatives, anyone in the hair salon industry, because we always need hair, makeup, special effects. We always need those people, stunts. You know, there's so much involved that people can get hired for.
Behind the scenes, people don't know. Like,
So
even
much.
something so simple as just us talking at the table right
Yeah,
here.
there's
It's
just so much involved.
goes into
Yeah,
it.
I can't even give you in this show what goes on. You can see a lot of my behind the scenes, but even then you'll be impressed with.
But even that, like, you know what? It's like, even like hair, makeup, whatever, then they have to all eat and they need to be hydrated.
You're in
and
charge
they need
of
to have
so many
their
lives.
lines, and they need to.
Yes, we are fully catered. We have food, water.
It's like insanity.
coffee.
Like, because like I've done small little comedy events here, and it's like, okay, bar and whatever, and it's like
It's
I
a
try
lot
to
of
have
work.
chips for them. So, but if you're gonna have them all day, they need heroes so they don't
Yeah,
die.
we have heroes. We have
They need
pasta,
sandwiches and fruit.
salad,
Absolutely.
We have
Because you know
energy
they're all
bars.
fucking probably like fucking
you have to
prima
feed
donnas
them.
with what they eat.
Yes, I always make sure I have a vegan option.
Okay, there you
For
go.
the vegans, because they annoy the shit out of me. No offense. I love steak, and I just had steak tonight.
Steak.
But I understand that everyone has their own needs, so we do always provide a vegan option as
Okay.
well as a meat option.
So Kathy Kiwi, you know Kathy?
Yes, I
She
do.
said, nice to listen in, Sarah Martin. So looking forward to seeing the one. Happy Thanksgiving. Robin DeVito gets a gold star for sharing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love
Craig-
you, Robin.
Craig Waklowski gets a
Wachowski,
gold
yep.
gets a gold star for sharing.
Thank
Eric
you.
Eric Marone gets a gold star for
Thank you.
sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you all who
you.
shared. Manny's watching. Talk about Manny. Love you all. Much respect. You are all working hard. Keep chopping
Yes,
wood. Thank you,
Manny's
Manny.
Heart of gold, like you, hard
Oh,
worker.
he's
and
amazing.
Gonna make
Love
it
Manny.
Gonna make it just because the good don't.
No stopping. Don't stop, baby.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
He's always the Ayn Rand. It's not
Yes.
who's gonna let me. It's who's gonna stop me.
No one's stopping me. I hope that you try. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
Because I
try,
have
I'll
like
step
the
on you.
eyeball killer.
I'll wear
in my.
I'll wear those boots and I'll step right on you.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
How do you decide what script you're gonna use and like?
I write them.
You write. Them?
I write
So
the
you're a
script.
writer too.
I do write the
Oh my
scripts.
god.
Yeah, a lot of people are always surprised when they realize I write them.
That's so cool.
I don't really advertise that I write. All the commercials that I shoot, I do write a script for. I sit down with the owners of the business, and we have to do a little script just so we know what we're doing.
What's your mission?
Yeah, it's like a
what are you
plan.
trying to do? Get it out of here.
But I do write all my scripts for
I'm sorry.
my 3 feature films that were my own. I do write them all, and I go through them. We go through the props. I provide all the props. I provide all the locations. I do the hiring and the firing. It's a lot of work. It is a lot. It
And
is a
you're
lot.
just a 31-year-old kid, so much more to come, guys.
Oh,
From
yeah.
Sarah
I
Martin.
do it all. And
Get
it's-
in. My mom just wrote to me, you need to audition.
No, she said
I
Mandy would
love
make
to
a
have
great
you-
actress.
I would love to have you both on my next film.
All right, let's be on
Here's
the
the thing, if I had
film
known you-
industry next.
If I had known you both a year ago, you would have been in. With
Well,
Dan.
how about this? How about I finish writing my script and you help me film it, maybe?
Well, maybe we can arrange that.
I'll just be.
We'll do a
I'll just be on
What
your
is your
show.
film about?
Because me and my husband already said we would be
Is it
the
a comedy?
actors. No, it's a psychological thriller.
Great.
Ooh.
That's my specialty.
Basically, I took the insanity of my husband plus the insanity of me and made it one character. That's actually maybe multiple characters based on delusions.
Like a
and-
split meets Mandy Jones.
yeah, it's like what
Love
it's,
it.
it's a lot of twists and a lot of turns, and like you hate the one character, but then the other one's really what's up
But
to
you
no
love-
good.
yeah.
It's good.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'll show you my little
Well, we'll chat.
storyboard.
Yeah, well, I would love to
after
see your
this,
storyboard.
And we're showing Bonnie Little
I'm
Miss
glad you
Sunshine.
understand what storyboards are.
Little
Storyboarding.
sunshine.
If anyone doesn't understand out there what storyboarding is, it's something you have to do for everything that you film. You basically
I know
write
that
a
because I
storyboard.
was in advertising, art, and design, so I
Yes.
know about
Storyboards
storyboards.
are very important. You have to have a storyboard. It basically gives you the outline of, basically so everyone's on the same page of what you're filming, how the scene should look, what your kind of goals are, sort of. It's like
What's
a little
the mission
preview.
of that little scene?
Yeah, what are our locations, everything involved, what the people are, where they're standing. stuff like that. Some are very, very detailed. Some are
Look,
very
can't wait
basic.
to show you mine.
Yes, I am very excited.
Is
to
it
see
5
Mandy.
minutes? Can we be done? and
Yeah,
dry
we have
now?
5 minutes left.
Oh my god.
None of you have shared any of your things.
Yeah, tell me what's
You
up,
know,
guys.
Have you
What do you
ever
wanna
met an
know?
actor? Have you ever, you have a question for Sarah? What,
Ever got
speak
an
up.
autograph?
Oh,
Anything.
Robin says she wants to be Mandy and my psycho aunt. Please.
Oh, yes.
You want to be the psycho aunt? That could be arranged. Don't threaten us with a good time, Robin.
What I love about the film
I love Robin.
What I love about the film that I'm writing is it's me and Glenn, and literally we would just have to rent like an Airbnb.
Perfect.
Like it's one cabin in the woods.
Perfect. You know what I do? When
Oh,
I'll
that
just
sounds
let you know,
awesome.
when I do rent
It's
Airbnbs,
not what you're thinking, Bonnie.
when I do rent
You're like, ooh,
Airbnbs,
that sounds awesome, and then I got a gutter ball in my head.
you do want to let the Airbnbs know that you're filming?
Well, I wasn't going to, but
Well,
There's
because if
probably-
they catch you in it, they could charge you more.
There's
Yeah.
I
probably
do always let
licenses
them
you
know.
have
Okay.
to get.
Yeah,
and all
there's
that.
certain licenses. Sometimes, if you're just doing it on a typical point and shoot, who cares?
and the
But if
thing
you're
is,
gonna have
it's
lights
just
and
the
all that-
two of us, like
If you're gonna have
there's
lights
no
and
waivers
everything,
or anything.
right.
Nobody will
You
know
can
what's
totally get
happening
away
in
with
there,
that.
except you two.
But at the same time, if you're gonna make money off of it, you need to make sure that you're doing it the right way.
Yeah, all right. This one's gonna fucking hold me to
I
a
wanna
fucking
hear about this.
standard. I want to do mine all
This
back
sounds
and,
awesome.
and cruddy. But
Now, David Lange said.
no. But then she's gonna get it all light. We're gonna hook up. This is gonna be great.
David Lange said he's so impressed by Sarah. First met her at the terrific Calamity Jones Halloween comedy event.
Thank you.
Bright future ahead.
Collective.
Need to get Mandy and Bonnie in a Thelma and Louise type film, but without the cliff ending. That's funny, David.
We can still go over a clip.
No, she'll be nonchalant.
I'm happy
and
to
that's
go
when
over
they
a
go
cliff.
vote.
It'll be a lot peaceful.
It's just a movie.
Mandy said you should all be really proud of yourselves. Mandy is always so
Mandy's the
positive.
sweetest.
Thank you, Mandy.
So positive.
Thank you.
Craig Wachowski said both Carrie, Kiwi, and I were in Sarah's Nefarious, our first feature acting role.
Very nice. Very
I
nice.
wanna
It's great
see that.
You gave people opportunities like that. Like with
Always.
your first role, you got to give opportunities. So it's super It's
Yeah,
like it's something that gives back.
I want to almost be like, this sounds so cliche, but I want to be like the Adam Sandler of Long Island.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, and
I
don't even say Long Island. Just
Yeah,
of,
just in
of-
general.
of the 2020s.
Yeah, I never mind bringing people back. I may not always give them the same roles because I always like to have new faces, of course.
Right.
But you always see that with Adam Sandler films. All of a sudden, that character that you love is a delivery man, and then
Yeah.
he's this.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You know, stuff like that. I think is so. There's no small roles. There's only small actors. Don't forget that. Don't be.
I
a douche.
love that line. I've heard that.
Don't be a douche. Every role is important. If you don't want to take it, somebody else will. So
Yeah.
don't be a
Don't
cocky
be a
son of
prima
bitch because
donna.
We will never bring you back.
No-
If you're like,
no prima
I
donna.
deserve a better role. Oh, you do? I'll see you never.
They would have wrote it in. They wouldn't have wrote that line into the movie if it
We
wasn't
need
important.
those roles filled. Even if you go, wow, that's great. That might be the only role people remember.
Right.
Now,
right.
One-liners are so great.
Absolutely.
It's so important.
This is a long question. I don't know if we have time to answer all this, but
Okay.
We got 2 minutes.
Kathy Kiwi once said, Sarah, what stage, if making a film, do you enjoy the most and why? Example, writing, filming, editing. What is the least enjoyable? So she wants to know the most enjoyable and the least enjoyable.
Okay, the most enjoyable, I love filming because it's so high energy and it's like right in the moment and it has to be captured now. So it's almost like the racing energy and everyone's excited to be on set and it's super fun. I love filming. It doesn't always go as planned. My least enjoyable part of filming is,
The prima donnas?
well, yeah, there's always someone that I can't stand on set, but sometimes editing.
I was
love.
just gonna say
yeah,
that's like tedious.
It's so tedious.
Yeah.
It's hours and hours and hours of work. People are like, wow, when is the film going to be out? I'm like, yo, we just finished filming like last night. Like, relax. It's going to be a few months.
Yeah.
They're like, months? Why? I'm like, because it's
You have to go through every
like,
single
it's
thing.
like 100
Because
hours
do
of
you wanna be
video.
in a good movie, or do you want to be in a shit piece of
Right. And like, people are always
90,
rushing me. And
90
I'm like,
hour
after
of
like,
footage.
yeah, after like 5 years of doing this, I'm like, it'll come out when it comes out. And people get mad at me. They're like, what does that mean? I'm like, it'll come out when it gets out because I can't stand the pressure
Because
anymore.
I can't tell you December 12th because it won't be done by December 12th.
It's unbelievable. However, you know what? I did set a goal for myself for the one.
Okay.
What I said January, it was done January 20th.
Good.
And it was supposed to be released in March. That never happened. So I do have it.
But
I've gone through it 1,000 times since then, and I look at it and I'm like, yeah, I guess this is the best it's going to be. Let's like release it. But yeah, so that's my best and worst, Kathy. Thank you very much.
Well,
Yeah,
your
good
mom
question.
is saying she learned so much from this.
Yes, yes, very.
Craig Wilaski is giving us a compliment. He said, "You ladies hosting this broadcast are fantastic.
They're
Take a
wonderful.
bow. You deserve it." Thank you, Craig. And Taz was saying that she never wrote anything in video production, just shot and edited, and her teacher hated it, but she loved the editing. So she's the opposite of you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But
so everybody's different.
We are up to 8:30. We want to thank Sarah Martin
Thank
for
you
for
so
coming
much
on
for
our
having
show.
Such a joy.
She's so much fun, such positive energy, which
Thank
is
you.
what I care about. I like to have fun.
Thank you.
And you are just a wonderful, happy, positive person.
Thank
And
you.
you're a good person.
Yeah.
Thank you
So
very much.
thank you everybody for tuning in.
Enjoy
And
your families.
next week we have Richard Schultes.
Yes,
Woo!
yes. Enjoy your families. Enjoy your
Happy
holiday.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Be thankful for what you have, guys.
I'm thankful I'm going to have turkey.
We love you. Thank you, Sarah. Love you, buddy.
Thank you very
I
much.
love you guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye.